You know, these conference championship games, Dr. Pepper, very visible. They have halftime competition where two different students try to throw a football into a big, large, inflatable thing to try to get as many balls inside the circle as possible and win $100,000. We're now joined by Reagan Whitaker, a senior at Baylor, who was at the SEC championship in the competition. My goodness, what a day it was across the board. Reagan joins Paul Craig, and I'm David Smoke. Reagan, good afternoon. What has your life been like the last couple of days?
Oh, my gosh. Hi, guys. So life has been crazy. I feel like within the 30-second toss, my life just did a quick 360, and it's just been so surreal to experience all of it.
Do you have any other athletic achievements that equal the toss?
I mean, I've played lacrosse for about 11 years, but it was nothing compared to what happened on Saturday.
So, Reagan, take us through kind of the challenge and how all that works, like the setup of it, kind of what you're told, and obviously the feeling walking out in front of a crowd like that. Just take us through the process, if you will.
All right. Yeah. So this year, the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway had us submit videos via TikTok. So I made a 1 minute long video and I did the hashtag Dr. Pepper tuition contest. And I was just so lucky that they selected me as a finalist, and I got practicing right away. The day they called me, I literally bought a hula hoop on Amazon for like $3 and bought so many footballs just to start practicing because I wanted to make it on the field. We did a prelim competition the day before, which is where we also settled the tiebreaker competition. And the second I knew I was going to be out on the field, I think I just was so nervous. And then when I was actually there and saw 75,000 people, and then I hear the producer say, all right, we're at 14 million viewers on TV, my stomach just sank, and I was like, I'm really about to go out there and do this thing.
And you did. And then it went overtime. And then, of course, that was dramatic. What was the exhilaration or adrenaline rush like? And how do you just not, like you said, panic? Or I guess as an athlete, you're kind of used to that, even with the crazy numbers in front of you. What was it like? And did you know you were always real close with your competitor?
Yeah, so it was crazy. I remember the 30 seconds. First of all, that was the slowest 30 seconds of my life. And then when they blew the whistle and I saw that we both tied at 11, I just was in utter shock. I remember the first person I looked at was Kayla, my other, the other finalist, and we just were unbelievable shocked and knew we had to get ready for the next round. And then when we tied again, I knew what that meant because I was fortunate enough to win the tiebreaker the day before by getting the most points. And I knew that had meant that I won $100,000. But throughout the whole thing, I just remember the shock I felt, and I had to get myself together real quick because we were going into another round before I knew it. So, yeah, it was pretty wild.
Reagan Whitaker, senior at Baylor, won the SEC Dr. Pepper Challenge. And she joins us right now on 365 Sports. So when was the preliminary, and what did you really kind of expect from when you won that? What was it the same type toss, or was it something different?
Yeah, so the preliminary round was the day before. Dr. Pepper is actually so generous. They send 3 contestants to each game. And in the preliminary round, we all battle it out doing the same exact toss, and the top 2 go on to be at the halftime show. And then it was funny. Kayla and I actually tied in the preliminary round. So we tied, and then we went on to do it again. And that's when I got the most points. And then our rank was first, second, and third. They just briefly told us, if you guys tie twice at the game, that means Reagan wins because she won the prelim round the day before. And I remember joking with the Dr. Pepper team saying oh my gosh, what if we tie? And they laughed it off because it had never happened before. So definitely shocking across the board when things actually happened. And yeah, so going into the game, I knew that the prelim was in the back of my mind. I didn't think I'd actually have to use it, but I'm so thankful that I did good the day before because it led to me getting a nice check.
$100,000. You want to be you want to be an audiologist, is that correct?
Yeah. So my older brother was born with hearing loss, and he's always just interacted with audiologists, and I've had a close relationship with audiologists in my life, and I see the impact they have on others, and I just really wanted to pursue that. But in order to do that, I have to go to school for another 4 years, which is just a huge financial challenge. And so Dr. Pepper's generosity through this competition has made that possible, and I'm just so excited for what the future holds.
Do you know that you're the third Baylor student, I think, in the last 6 years to win one of these challenges with Dr. Pepper?
Yes, I did. I was fortunate enough to meet the other two. I think one's name is Bryce and Andrea, and they're just awesome.
So you and Kayla have a special bond now. I mean, it's cool. Both of y'all, obviously, not everybody watching got to see the event prior, the tiebreaker the day before, and eventually it all gets sorted out. You both walk away with $100,000. Like, how did that feel? And did you guys have kind of a special Dr. Pepper challenge bond now?
Oh my gosh, we have a bond for life. Throughout the whole weekend, we actually got to Atlanta Thursday night and had a dinner together as competitors. And we just really became friends more than anything. So when they came up into the suites around, I think it was the third quarter of the game, and they announced that she got $100,000 and handed her a huge check as well. Like, I remember she fell to the floor and I just went up and picked her up and gave her the biggest hug. We were both so excited and just crying because we can't believe that our lives literally just changed like that. And we were just each other's biggest cheerleaders this weekend. You know, you're out there on a huge stage that you're not really used to, and it's just you guys. So supporting each other each step of the way, yeah, it was crazy. We were so just excited about the outcome, and yeah.
Reagan, I got to tell you, when you answered Craig's question and you mentioned the moment in the suite when they also approached her with the other big check, it gave me goosebumps. Did that like blow you away, that moment for you too?
Yes, I was so excited. You guys, this is not just a football competition. Like, Dr. Pepper is really out there changing people's lives. Kayla was an occupational therapy student, and she told me how much debt she had, and I knew what it meant to her in the moment. And I knew what it meant to me as well, so I could only just relate to what she felt. And that we were just both overcome with emotions because, you know, our lives changed and we're able to go out there and do what we want to do with our futures just because Dr. Pepper is such a generous company and because we went out there and tossed a few footballs. Like, who knew?
Reagan, you mentioned you met the others at Baylor who had won.
Yeah.
How many times, just like in the last 4 to 5 years, randomly did you football fan, did you catch any of the Dr. Pepper halftime challenge? Did you ever even like catch that before?
Yeah. So I like to watch football. I think it's just on leisurely at my household most of the time. And I've seen it over the years, but one thing that really caught my eye was last year when Baylor's at the Big 12 championship game. I just thought to myself, I was like, I could do that. And started out as a joke, and I was joking with my friends about applying for it. And then it was my academic advisor who said her roommate had won it. And then I was out there practicing after I got the call, and Bryce was literally just on a leisurely walk. And he said, oh my gosh, I won that back in 2018. And so it was such a small world and just absolutely crazy that so many Baylor students have gotten the chance to do it.
Well, now you're a rock star on campus, right?
It's been wild. I went to class earlier today and just seeing people that I don't even know just congratulate me and support me the entire way. It shows me how much of the Baylor family has an impact on others. So it's been wild.
My last question then is, you said you were at the Big 12 championship. Baylor beat Oklahoma State in that dramatic game. This year didn't go quite so well. When is Baylor getting back to another Big 12 championship game?
Oh, I believe it's going to happen next year. Like, I think we're going to bounce back fast and do what we do best, which is win.
Reagan, congratulations. Love what you're doing with audiologists and your career, and what a moment it was with what Dr. Pepper did, what you did, and also what they eventually did for Kayla. Congratulations. Enjoy it, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.
That's, again, Reagan Whitaker. $100,000 towards her tuition at Baylor University to be an audiologist. Thanks to Sarah Pryor, by the way, and